Greetings, toy fans. I just got home from work and I am really excited, so I don't even waste my time changing because I got an eBay order in the mail today. So I am super excited because I've got this one-armed Apocalypse. This is from the X-Men Build-A-Figure line from the Hasbro Marvel Legends. And I got his arm. I got his arm, finally. We are finishing off Apocalypse. Sabretooth. As is typical with these. You got the nice box art on the back of Sabretooth in action. But the Build-A-Figure Apocalypse, this is the Build-A-Figure I've wanted the most for a while. And I just haven't really gotten around to building it. If you buy 7 figures, you had enough to get them. For a while there, I didn't actually think I was going to get him because the Gladiator figure is really expensive on eBay right now. And I just assumed I wasn't going to pay those prices for him. But about a month and a half ago, my wife and I were in a random Target about 2 hours from home, and there was Gladiator just on a peg. So we picked him up, and the chase was back on because there are some figures in this line that were pretty easy to get a hold of. Storm and Magneto, in my opinion, were the two easiest ones to find on the shelves. Psylocke was the first one we bought because she's really awesome, and I didn't know if I was going to find her a lot. I actually didn't ever buy Wolverine or Multiple Man. I just bought their parts online because you can get those sometimes in various eBay auctions. But Magneto and Storm and Psylocke and Gladiator and now Sabretooth, I had to get. Out of the box. The box backing art for a lot of these X-Men ones is really cool, but it's also kind of bland. It's just the giant X-Men logo, so congratulations. Could have been better, but it wasn't bad either. And unlike a lot of figures, before I take out Sabretooth, I am finishing Apocalypse. Boom! And with that, I have finished my favorite villain in the entire Marvel Universe. I know everybody thinks Thanos is the big bad, and Thanos is the one you should be worried about. But I, like many other boys who grew up in the 90s, feasted upon the X-Men cartoon, and Apocalypse was just so hardcore in that. It's what made the actual X-Men Age of Apocalypse movie such a downer, because that Apocalypse sucked. And Oscar Isaacs is a good actor, so they really wasted him. He should have done better. Anyway, Apocalypse, he's got some pretty good, actually further articulation in the shoulders than I thought he'd have. His elbows have joints, single jointed joints that don't seem to move at all. This cuff here pretty much keeps his elbows from moving at all. But he does have a cut in his bicep. He's got these pipes actually that do follow pretty well. They're not really coming out, so I appreciate that out of them. Apocalypse has an ab crunch. It's the first time I think I've moved it. His head really doesn't have a ton. Okay, I guess it's got more range of motion than I thought, but that's kind of a worthless range of motion. Like he's looking down, smelling to see if he stinks. Oh, nope, I don't stink. It must be you. Or maybe you. Definitely not me. But he's got an ab crunch. He seems to have a slight waist swivel, but once again, he's kind of a bulkier character, so the Build-A-Figures sometimes have that happen. He's got a thigh cut, nice swiveling feet. All in all, this is the Build-A-Figure I've been waiting to finish, so I'm glad I did. I suppose we could talk about the figure that came with the Build-A-Figure piece, Sabretooth. I don't own any Sabretooth figures. That's why I had to get this one. I somewhat regret not getting the Wolverine, but I have a Wolverine already. It's just not the same colors that came with this one. But I still have a Wolverine actually with very similar color scheme to this Sabretooth, so it's going to make for some great battle scenes. So let's see, this Sabretooth, he's got some pretty cool sculpting here for his hair, I guess, on the back. That's a pretty awesome Sabretooth face, all things considered, I'd say. Good movement. Oh, the neck's got some really great movement to it, actually. You could really have him doing some jumping poses, attacking. That's awesome. Well done there. All in all, it's a very similar figure to a lot of the Hasbro Marvel Legends, so it's going to have a lot of the same ab crunch, waist swivel, cuts in the thigh and in the calf, actually, on this one. Thigh and calf. He does have double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. So he's a fantastic figure, great for posing, and great villain to add to your X-Men collection. And as I just said, as a boy who grew up in the 90s, the X-Men cartoon was my jam. And it should have been for everybody's. If you didn't grow up in the 90s or you weren't a boy in the 90s, I don't care. Just go find the X-Men cartoon and watch it. Sabretooth's attacking now, and so's Apocalypse. It's freaking awesome. Anyway, Hasbro Marvel Legends, X-Men Wave from a while ago, actually. Nonetheless, completed. Apocalypse is done. You should go get it. This gets a 5 thumbs up. And I don't really have any sort of scale that I judge anything by. But this is awesome. And I love Apocalypse. And he's cooler than Thanos. And he's been around forever. Anyway, this is Mark. You're watching Mark's Toy Box on YouTube, and if you want to check out where I take photos of all these little guys, maybe I'll have one with him fighting Wolverine soon. Check me out on Instagram. I'm also Mark's Toy Box, all one word. I am an adult and I like owning toys, and it is awesome. Thanks for checking in. See you later. Bye.